Okay, so we're back again. Now we're going to do our first mottling layer. Now, how much mottling you want to do is entirely up to you. I prefer to keep it to a minimal and also not to allow it to look like measles or something when it's fully dry. So it's got to be very subtle. The first colour I use is one of the 3 primary colours, which is a red. In Jo Sonia's range, it comes as Cadmium Scarlet. So CADM, I think it's an IUM. There you go. So try to pronounce that. Cadmium. Well, anyway, so we'll just use a little blob of this. Again, no real measurements when it comes to me. I don't want it to be a very intense colour. I want it to be quite transparent to get the results I want. So I'm going to add some of the Stroke and Blend, which helps with the there we go, with the application, and also not allowing it to dry out too quickly. There is a, oh okay, just found something that I was looking for actually, but never mind. I did it with a sealer, the first application as a primer. For the primer I did it with the sealer. So I just was looking for this actually yesterday. I just came across it today, and it's the Glass and Tile Primer, which I will try next time. Prepare surfaces for increased adhesion of paint. Now I thought I didn't have that, and since I've used this before, I went ahead and used that instead. Use a soft dry brush to apply a generous coat of Glass and Tile Primer, Part A, to the area to decorate. Allow the air dry approximately 5 to 10 minutes. We could have used this, but I'm going to use it with my next lot of babies that I'm going to make. Alright, there you go, I've got it. Didn't know I had it. Now what was I looking for? Here it is. The flow medium. So I'm going to put a little bit of flow medium in here as well. Isn't it funny when you're looking for something you never find it, and then when you're not looking for it, it pops up. So as you can see, with the addition of those mediums, already you've got a paint that's considerably lighter. It's quite a bright red, really, come to think of it, look at it. So yeah, interesting. I'm going to see how it mixes first. And I can tell you right here and now, for mottling, that's way thick, so we have to correct that. And you know what I'm going to do before I put any thinning water in here or anything? I am going to dull that a bit. It's a bit too orangey for my liking, so I'm going to find some burnt sienna somewhere in my basket of goodies. I really, really need to organise these paints so that I can actually find what I'm looking for when I'm looking for it. Where are you? Wasting time. Where I could be doing something else. No, not you. Oh my. A bit like the thing I was looking for yesterday. When I'm looking for it, it's not there, and then when I'm not, it pops up. As if to say, I was here all along. It's just you couldn't see me. Is the case with this. Oh, let go. No, this is again purple. Oh, I bought the purple. Anyway, we're not getting what we want. And we found it, burnt umber. So we're going to put a little bit of burnt umber in here, just a little tiny amount. Even that might be a bit much actually. So, if you feel it is, just wipe off the excess onto a paper towel. So now, oops, that's clever. I'll just mix that in, and what you should get is hopefully a darker red. It's a colour you don't want to use too much of, meaning the burnt umber. Okay. It is a dark red, almost like a tomato dark red. But for mottling, that's fine. So the actual colour, actually is quite translucent, it's good, is that. Oops, just painted my shells. I'm going to make it a little bit more translucent by adding a little bit of water. Distilled water, not tap water. Just a little. Mix that up. And see how it's running down the sides quite quickly? That means it's translucent, or it does to me anyway. Actually, it's looking like a bit of a brown. So what I'm going to do is add a little bit, just a tiny amount of the red, just a little bit, which to me still looks more like orange than red, but that's the closest one you're going to get to red in the Joe Somers range anyway. And I've also am going to try mixing, not in the same bowl, but do an application of, say, another type of air dry paint, and then use these ones as well, but at different stages. That might work out well. Some of the ranges have got different colours to others. Okay, so I'm just going to put my paintbrush on the side there. So I've got these sponges, which are cosmetic sponges, and I find these are the most dense I can find. And I've plucked out holes to make them mottled. So I'm going to pop that into some distilled water just to soften the sponge. Squeeze it right out so it's just damp. I'm going to swish this around, this paint, you can see there, tilt it down and just take the paint that's left behind. Always blot it out on your paper before you use it. We'll do with this little head this time. So again, I start at the back of the head, and this time I'm going to do this mottling in a rolling action. So I'm actually popping the sponge down and then just rolling the sponge across to give it the mottle effect. You can pounce it. I mean, I will probably pounce it in some areas, but you can use both actions. To me, although I like it very, very light, that's a little bit, just a little bit too light. So I'm going to add a little bit more of the red. So I've got 3 different types of, well, two mediums and water working there. So that could be very well why it's so translucent. I do want translucent, but yeah, you sort of got to find a happy medium. Alright, this is getting a little bit too thick for my liking now, so hopefully I haven't gone from one extreme to the other. Pick some up, dabs off, and try again. Now it's still quite light, as you can see. I can hardly see it, and I'm dabbing this time so that I can actually see colour is, it's still very translucent, and that's fine. I don't want it too concentrated, too intense. And now I'm resorting more to the pouncing than the rolling action. That's what you get with the rolling action just there. And I've got a hair that's floated in there. Can you see that rolling action at all? So, yeah, it's up to you which way you go. You can use both. And I use it mostly around the face too. Now this will dry up and lighten up. That's the rolling action you get there. So you still get your mottling, it's just a different way of applying it. I think I'm running out of paint on here. Am I? Yeah, I am. I'm just going to pop you back down there for a minute, or up there. Because I see some babies with really, really heavy mottle, and in some cases, if they're like real newborns, within a couple of hours reborns, you can almost tolerate it, accept it. But I've seen it on older babies too, and really, although I've seen older babies with mottling, they're never quite as intense as that. Well, to my knowledge anyway. So that's the first layer. That's already considerably covered up the veining. And I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of, off camera, the rest of the limbs. And come back and show you what they look like when it's done. So, I hope those veins were done. Yeah, that's what they look like, or should look like, the mottling. Hardly there. Thanks.